What's up, everybody? Send Hope Homestead. We're back, and this weekend we canned peaches. We made peach jelly, peach slices, and we also made peach juice. Lots of it. I'm going to show you how we did all three of them, and then at the end of this we'll taste test a little bit with Elliot. So let's go. It is peach processing day. We've had this massive tub of peaches, and it's been in the fridge for a while because we didn't have a kitchen, so I've been trying to put off making all the stuff, but today is the day. I can't wait any longer because they're starting to get bad spots. Also, I'm in the bathroom today because, again, kitchen. So if you see my pile of dishes that I've cleaned, or if you see my Dawn spray and wash or my toothbrush in the background, no, you didn't. So I'm sorting them into 3 piles. The ones that look pretty good and aren't super soft are going back here because I'm gonna make I'm gonna can peach slices, just canned peaches out of those. The ones that are a little mushy or have bad spots are going here, the really ripe ones, and they're gonna be jelly. If they have really bad spots or mold on them, they're just getting thrown straight into the trash. So this one, I'm gonna cut those. Yeah, no, this one's gonna go in the trash because that's already starting to grow mold on it, and I'm not messing around with that at all. Molly doesn't want to help me process peaches. She wants to be free. She's sad. Okay, so I have 5 cups of water in here. I'm gonna add 3 cups of sugar. We're just gonna make kind of a light, simple syrup. Ooh. Peaches are already pretty sweet, so I don't want it to be too syrupy. So I'm gonna work on peaches now, like sliced peaches, and then I'll work on peach jelly while these are in the water bath. Also, this massive water bath canner I borrowed from my mother-in-law. I'm going to show you what's in it because my jars are just in there getting warm. I had to turn one jar on its side to be able to fit all of them. And there's my sugar water. But I'm going to put the lid on this for right now and just let it get warm. These are the peaches that were a little bit more brown and mushy. They are going to go into a peach jelly. And then these peaches that are firmer and have kind of held their shape a little bit better, except maybe for some on the bottom, are going to be sliced peaches, and they're going to go into jars. So the recipe I'm following also said you can add a tablespoon of lemon juice to each jar so it won't brown as badly. Some of the ones that were on the bottom got a little squished and bruised while they were in the fridge. And they're pretty soft now, so that's okay. They just go into our jar for jelly. Okay. That's all of them. Here's our peaches in the pot. So we're gonna let them simmer for about 5 minutes. Now it's time to get our jars out of our water bath and set them to the side so that I can start filling them. Then it'll be time to fill them with the peaches. So we just want to dump out the water and set them over here to kind of not cool off, but just to sit for a second. You want your jars and whatever you're putting in your jars to be the same temperature, and then you want the water that you're putting them in after you fill them with your jars to be the same temperature as well. So you want everything to be either hot or you want everything to be cold, because the big temperature changes will crack your jars. So I've got a little bit of foam over here on my peaches. I will probably ladle that off. I'm not going to worry too much about this foam because it's kind of tricky to get it out without getting just a ton of the liquid. Okay, so now I'm just going to start ladling in peaches. This is so satisfying. Okay, so we don't want peaches to be up above the neck of the jar, like up above here. We want them to kind of settle down, but we want them to kind of pack in as well, and then add the syrup over top of them too, so that they will be preserved and not just floating in the air. I don't have enough peaches to fill another jar, but I have too much peaches. I have like 3 slices too many. Okay, now we're going to debubble the jars, which is where you're just going to go kind of around the edges. Let any air bubbles come out. And then I'm going to just gently push my peaches down to make sure that they're all down in there. So debubbling is a step that I often forget as someone who's kind of new to canning, but it is very important because you don't want a little trapped pocket of air in there, and you don't want it to make your jars bust. We're going to fill the jars the rest of the way with syrup until we get to the right amount of head space, which is the right amount of space left in your jar where there can be air and not just like product. I'm going to go ahead and put in all the peaches that are going to be used for peach jelly in here and go ahead and get them blended and pureed up so that way they are ready to go in to get cooked and be turned into jelly as well. So I'm going to take the lid off for this. Okay, I put my jars of peaches in here. They're not actually like processing yet. It's not quite up to heat, but they're starting to. I'm gonna go ahead and add my 2 tablespoons of lemon juice here and my box of pectin, which for this one I'm gonna use Sure Gel. I'm just gonna use 1 box for this. Okay, so the Sure Gel box is calling for 7 cups of sugar to be added to this. I made peach jam the other day and I only had 5 and it worked just fine with the same amount of peaches. So I'm going to start with 5. I'm going to see how it does. Okay, it's kind of boiling. I'm going to go ahead and measure in my sugar. That's 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups, 4 cups. I'm going to stir this, kind of see how far that gets us. I think that might be all the sugar I'm able to get. That might be all my pot is able to hold. Okay, that was 4 cups of sugar. I got a little space left in my pot. I'm going to give it a little bit more. Alright, that's 6 cups of sugar. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit any more sugar in this pot without it completely boiling over here in a second. And it is supposed to come back to a boil for a minute.
no chance this doesn't boil over all over my new stove. So I'm gonna have to be very careful. I think I might just kind of stand here stirring it at the point when it does reach a boil. And see if we can still get it to set. Okay, there goes my peaches boiling over. Shoot. I'm gonna try to get a couple of the baby jars too. Those are 1/4 pints. The ones I'm filling now for jelly are 1/2 pints. That's a good size of jelly for us. We don't use a ton of jelly, and I do want to be able to give some as gifts for people at Christmas this year. So I'm trying to do more of the small ones than like the big 1/2 pint sizes. These baby ones are perfect when you get down to the end of the pot because all you need is like 1/2 of a scoop for them and they're full. We're gonna get a clean paper towel, get some vinegar on it. We're gonna wipe the rims down. And in this case, for jelly, I'm wiping all the way around, like down here, because sometimes it drips off of the top. You really just want to make sure there's nothing sticky anywhere. Lid, ring on, fingertip tight. So the peach slices that are in there need to process for 20 minutes. The peach jelly in the 1/2 pint jars needs to process for about 15 minutes. And the smallest jars only need to process for like 5. We're gonna let them go for 10. It's not gonna hurt them. Okay, now while you're doing this, you do also want to be very careful not to touch the tops of the lids. You don't want to accidentally push down on that little seal. There's a little button that makes a clicky sound on these jar lids, and it's supposed to do that, but you want it to seal when the air has all been sucked out of the jar, not because you've pushed on it with your finger and it's not ready to seal. If you seal it accidentally with your hand, that can give it what's called a false seal, and then air can get back into the jar when that seal releases over time, and then your food that you have in the jar can go bad, or it can get bacteria growing in it, and we don't want that. If you have one of these jar tools, just so you know, if you're a beginner for this, the curved side like this is the one made to grip the jar. It's curved like that to fit the mouth of the jar lid. The straight handles at the top are for you to hold. My, I have gotten this floor so very sticky. So you want all your jars to be covered with 1 inch of water without your canner boiling over. We're gonna let that come to a boil. When it's boiling, and only when it's boiling, will I start the timer. And then I'm gonna start a timer for 10 minutes. And I'm gonna take those smallest jelly jars out and set them aside to cool. Then I'll take the medium jelly jars out 5 minutes later, set them aside to cool. And then 5 minutes after that, I'll take out the big peach slice jars and let them cool. Okay, the peach tea was delicious enough that I'm going to take all of this leftover peach juice, because I made way too much for 5 jars of peach slices. And I'm gonna pour it into a couple of jars and just leave this as like a peach syrup.
All right, what are we tasting?
Peach jelly.
Peach jelly.
And then canned peaches. Right?
Yep. I don't really want to open all of them, but we can pick one. And the peach juice you've already tried. Give us your review of the peach juice.
I haven't tried it yet.
You haven't tried the peach juice? It keeps disappearing from the fridge. I know that was you.
Yeah, it goes straight to my stomach.
I know.
Taste it.
So how is it?
It goes to my stomach. I can't taste it.
Oh my goodness. Well, it must not be too bad because it keeps disappearing.
Can I try it though?
Huh?
Can I try it?
Let me go get the one that's already open and then yes.
They're worse than the ding dogs. Can you please get it off me?
Nice. Wait. Here. That one actually did turn into jelly at least. It's better than the watermelon.
No, watermelon better.
You like the watermelon better? The taste of it? I know, Sweppies are ridiculous.
Tastes like jelly, but flavored peach. And it's sweet. It's just like peach jelly.
Okay, all right, I'll take it. That's a win. All right,
It
hold
tastes good.
on. Let me taste.
Better
Okay, so
than
it's still a
store-bought.
little bit liquidy, but it's wet.
Better than store-bought.
Yes, it is. Better than store-bought, baby. Woohoo!
Everything is store-bought's terrible.
Yeah.
Store-bought
Okay.
gives you cancer.
Here's my fingerful of jelly. Oh, that's good.
What?
He's right. It's definitely better than store-bought. It's sweet, but not too sweet. It's gonna be perfect on a biscuit with some butter. I'm gonna have to make that this Saturday. Don't open that one. We might need peaches in the dead of winter for like a peach cobbler or something.
We don't need a peach cobbler, but it would be nice.
Yeah, you know what a peach cobbler is? Like a peach pie.
Yeah, I know.
So think like in the winter when you haven't had any fresh peaches in a long time and you really are like sad because it's been cold and gray, and then you can open a little jar of summer sunshine and eat it in a pie. All right, taste the juice and let's go inside. I'm getting eaten alive. Ah,
How do I taste it?
peach juice. I mean, just take a sip.
Tastes just like the same thing that's in my cup.
So what have we been using the peach juice for?
I forgot.
What'd you put it in last night?
Tea.
Yep. It makes a great like sweet tea flavoring. Like a cup of half peach juice and half tea is amazing.
You can carry those two in.
Thank you.
I can
We also
carry-
made a peach Sprite last night. That was pretty good. I made it. Me and Daddy had one. You didn't have one, but I did.
Wait. Yeah, I did.